Wine and Crime contains graphic and explicit content which may not be suitable for some listeners. Listener discretion is advised.
Wine Coven! We have another special announcement. You swooped in and bought all of the tickets to the Gramercy Theater show. That show is sold out.
Sold out.
Bye-bye. So, we have a second live show in New York City in case you miss your chance at tickets.
That's right. We've added a second show. It's going to be at the Bell House in Brooklyn, New York on Sunday, July 9th. That happens to be my mom's birthday.
Ooh,
She will not be in attendance, but at least I have an excuse.
Just for me.
She's got better things to do.
She's got better things to do, but you don't. So you should be at the Bell House on Sunday, July 9th with us. The show starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Get your tickets now at wineandcrimepodcast.com. Once again, tickets are going really quick, so get yours today. Don't hesitate. It will definitely sell out.
We love the Bell House. We're so excited. We will see you on July 9th in Brooklyn. See you then.
You are listening to Wine and Crime, the podcast where three friends chug wine, chat true crime, and unleash their worst Minnesotan accents.
Took a rip of my oney right when you started the intro. Oops.
I moved my chair up for John.
Classic.
Oh! And
John.
my microphone
For
was
John.
not adjusted. Yeah, is this better, John?
Yeah, John.
Okay.
I love John. It probably is better. Thank you,
It
John.
probably is a lot better. Okay, I'm Kenyon.
I'm Lucy.
I'm Amanda.
And we have a very special fan pick this week brought to you by Kayla. Kayla has selected the topic of skateboarding crimes.
Ugh.
Amanda's not feeling it.
I hate it. Get me on my knees, Kayla.
That's because I swooped in and selected the fan pick case right away.
And there's like nothing good out there, nothing else juicy that exists basically except this case, because like the only other prolific crime in skateboarding is like drugs and trespassing, and nobody cares about either of those things.
There's some sad like dead people found at skate parks.
Sure.
Yeah.
I went in a very unique direction.
Teratomas?
No, I kept it within the topic, but
Unlike some.
unlike some people have in the past,
I
But
made a choice.
I took a more unimpressed approach to my segment this week
Ooh.
than a standard wine and crime approach.
Okay.
So
All right.
I'm gonna get good and
Get off
sauced
my
up.
lawn.
I am definitely gonna NIMBY the shit out of this particular subculture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Trespassing. It's great.
Well, before we get to it, Kayla, our fan picker, wants to dedicate Skateboarding Crimes this episode to her boyfriend, Andy.
Oh, so it's his fault.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if one or both of them is a skateboarder or this was
Great.
just totally at random.
I did get a kick out of all of the warnings that I read about not trying to learn how to skateboard over the age of like 25 and how dangerous it is if you're an adult, like
Yeah.
wanting to get into skateboarding. I was like, first of all, nothing to worry about here, internet.
Yeah.
Clearly, you are not using the algorithm to figure out what I'm trying to find.
It's like when people are super confident that they can just all of a sudden do a backflip.
Yeah.
What?
It's like you need to learn that when your bones are still rubber.
Malleable.
Or
Yeah.
just like practice it. I don't know how you practice a backflip, but just like, oh, I understand how it works.
It's like on
I'm
The
just
Office
gonna do it.
when Creed's New Year's resolution is to do one perfect, glorious cartwheel. And then he quote unquote does it, nails it on the first try. That would be me skateboarding.
That's how my cartwheels are.
Uh-huh.
Always.
I can't do
great.
a cartwheel. They're always a round off.
Mhm.
Muscle memory. I can't do like landing one foot and then the other. It's
Mhm.
always just boom, sticking it.
I'm sorry, I want to back up. You can do a round off?
Yeah.
Ish.
It's not perfect.
Prove it. Get up and fucking prove it
Do
right
it.
now.
Do it in your office right now.
Right
There
the
is
fuck now.
No room. Although
Oh,
I
how
did
convenient.
when
How convenient.
I woke up this morning and saw our group text about grapevine versus karaoke.
Yeah, ew, what the fuck is
Explain for the
Karaoke.
listeners.
It's the move that you do while Courtney Blortney prefaced it during gym class, but I
Right.
guess you can do whatever. It's like a dance move.
It's a dance move.
You cross one foot over the other, like in front of and then behind, and then you swiggle sideways.
Yeah, swiggle.
Yeah. And some people apparently call it karaokeing.
Ridiculous.
The
It's grapevine.
karaoke?
It's grapevining
It's grapevine.
always.
I know.
It doesn't make sense. So I saw that
Get out
text
of
when
my
I woke
house.
up, and the first fucking thing I did this morning was leap out of bed, do that across my bedroom, and go, Corey, what do you call this? And he was like, what the fuck are you doing?
Don't ask questions. Just answer
Just
my
answer.
question. What do you
I
call
know.
this?
He's like still sleep bleary. Like, why are you?
What?
What?
7:30 in the morning. He's got crust in his eyes.
Yeah.
Where have I
What
like
year is
taking
it?
off his CPAP?
Pretty much.
One drool blob still connected.
Oh.
What do you call this? I did it like 6 times. 'cause
What did he
wasn't
say?
watching. He said, I forgot what that's called, but we
Get
did
out,
it in
Corey.
football practice.
Oh, what?
I had to prompt Kenny. I was like, is it called grapevine? And he goes, no. And I go, is it called karaoke? And he was like,
Ew.
yeah, that's what I called it. And I was like, God damn it.
No.
No,
Ugh,
Kenny, no.
absolutely not. Mm-mm.
That's disgusting.
Anyway,
All right, moving on. We're
that's
gonna
the
need
end of the
some,
episode. Thank you so much. Bye.
We're gonna need some booze to wash away the memories.
Yeah, yeah. I feel you. I started pre-lubing, but I can pick it up.
Yeah.
I can pick it up where we left off. So our fan picker had requested a dirtbag beer, like some cheap, shitty
I got
beer.
Busch Light downstairs.
Kind of, yeah. I think one of the recommendations may have even been Busch Light specifically,
Shit.
but
I got room temp year-old cans of Busch Light in my pantry.
Oh,
Blech.
pull it out of like a tattered backpack and it's perfect.
Yeah. Okay. So Kenyon has the recommended pairing. I straight up was like, "Oh, that's a cute recommendation." No. No.
No. I like my life too much.
Yep. Bye bye. Although I
I'm
did.
having such a good day.
Yeah. If it was, I don't know, Hard Mountain Dew, then maybe we could talk. But sorry, can't do it. But I did have a great beer in my fridge that I'm just going to go ahead and drink today. It is from a brewery called Warpigs.
Yeah.
I thought you
Very
said grape-
badass.
Grape beer.
A great beer. Grapevine karaoke beer. I am drinking the Warpigs Nemesis Divina. And
Ooh, I
look
think that
at
that
this.
is quite fitting.
I think so too. It's got the like really intense art that you can often see on the bottom of a skateboard.
The board.
The board. It's
Graphic.
not like
The deck. Excuse me, the deck.
the deck, the underside of the deck. This reads, Temptress of my dreams, fallen angel, come to me. We'll ascend the plane to eternity as friend and foe.
That actually fits the fan pick case exceedingly well. And
well,
we'll get
shit.
to it.
There you go. This is a dry hopped porter with aromas of rich, dark chocolate that intermingle with a little bit of a citrus and tropical hop balance. It's dry hopped, so you are going to get a little bit of that like bitterness. It's 54 IBU.
I
which
haven't
is
dry hopped in a long time.
ages.
Love dry hopping.
You
Dry
do
hopping
love dry
was
hopping.
so fun.
So cool in 2004. I don't think I've dry hopped since like 2006, I would say.
Yeah.
Maybe 2007.
Maybe,
That's
yeah.
about the last era of my dry hopping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because once you start wet
Real
hopping,
hot. Well, I was wet hopping
hopping.
before. I was wet hopping before, but I think I just was around. I like had roommates around all the time.
Once
It was
wet hopping
more-
is the norm.
Once you have your
Yeah.
own space, you can more freely wet hop when
Yeah.
you're kind of sharing space or have
And then
thin
it's hard
walls.
to stop at the dry hopping.
Correct.
And then you just kind of skip it altogether.
The dry hop no longer satisfies. Now I just don't have time. Can we just get to the point here?
Very, very rarely hippity hop.
I'm
days.
exhausted. Anyway,
I'm counting
this
down
is-
the minutes till I can take a nap.
pretty much. This is medium-bodied. It's a medium-bodied porter. It has like a nice, rich malt character, which yields to a smooth, dry, chocolatey finish. And I think it's going to be delicious. So that's what I'm drinking today.
Great.
What are y'all drinking?
I'm drinking some of our rosé. Thanks, I love it.
Oh, it's so pretty.
The gal's rosé. It's so pretty, and I just felt like treating myself.
It's so cute. And it's finally summertime.
And it's hot out. I was just out with Sonia. She got sweaty in the stroller. We were walking.
Cute.
And so I wanted to have some rosé. So I'm going to pop it open with my iridescent wine key, which is the
Great.
merch that we push the most often just because
Yeah,
it's so
'cause
handy.
we always have it. Well, while you're prepping your wine, I will crack this beer. Here we go.
Ooh.
Wow.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Nice crack.
That was a good crack.
Ooh, it almost has like a...
That sounded like a sound effect, even though I know it's not.
No, it was real. That it almost has like a coffee, like the crema on a fresh shot of espresso. This almost, the foam of this almost looks like that.
Crema.
That's what they call it.
The dry hop crema.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Tasty. Oops, I dry hop crema'd. Ooh.
You're not supposed to crema
Premature
when you're dry
crema.
hopping.
Keep it in your pants with that crema. Oh, you did it. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Nice pop. Cheers. Oh, yeah.
And I'm just really thirsty, so I just have ice water.
Get it. Well, we are also recording at like 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
3:22. I can have this rosé.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. I have like a prescription to pick up after this. Well, yep. Yeah. I have
Don't
to go
ride
get
your
it.
scooter.
Oh, I always ride my scooter when it's nice, and I always use it in the drive-thru at the pharmacy on my little scooter. They love it.
Hello, mental health me, please.
Hi. Yes, I am here for my Lexapro. How did you know?
I like that meme that's like, where in the world is my fucking serotonin?
Yeah. It's me.
Okay.
All right. Well, Lucy, what is our background and maybe psych for skateboarding crimes?
There's no fucking
Maybe.
psych here. No psych.
All right.
Bad, deal with it. Okay.
Okay.
Skateboarding is a form of recreation and sport popular among youths, in which a person rides standing balanced on a small board mounted on wheels.
Wheels.
The first commercial skateboards appeared in 1959, but crude homemade versions of skateboards, often consisting of nothing more than old roller skate wheels attached to a board,
We're all, what's it called? The movie. Back to the Future.
We'll get to Back to the Future. We'll get there.
Oh, okay.
We'll get to it. So they were first built around the turn of the 20th century. So they've been around for a minute. Some of them would have a crate attached to the front vertically to act as handlebars. So skateboards basically started out as scooters. And here's a quote from the Museum of Play. In the 1940s and 50s, crate scooters made popular sidewalk vehicles. Most of them were handmade. They were relatively inexpensive and simple for kids to construct themselves by using a milk crate or wooden fruit box and metal roller skate wheels attached to a wooden 2x4. Two before, as my geology professor always said.
Called it
No
two-befores?
Two
way.
befores.
That's annoying.
He had a huge nose that had like purple veins in it.
Oh, yeah.
Like a big old gin nose.
Yeah.
Ooh, gin blossoms.
Yeah, two befores.
Two
I liked
befores.
him.
Befores.
I liked him.
Oh my God.
Eventually, kids started removing the crate handlebars and just riding the board with wheels, a la that skateboard scene in Back to the Future, when Marty's like running away from Biff and his goons, and
Great chase scene.
he grabs the kids' crate scooters and rips
Yeah.
off the crate and then like skateboards away.
So good.
There's a picture of that scene on the drive, which will be on the blog. The toy industry, which was bolstered by the post-war economic boom, took notice of this fad in 1959, and Roller Derby, which is like the toy brand, released the first official skateboard. In the early 1960s, skateboard manufacturers such as Makaha, I Googled it. I'm not 100% sure that's how you say it.
Okay.
Also, Hobie, as in like the sailboat
Hobie cat.
manufacturer.
Okay.
Bill Hobie?
No,
I'm going to start calling him Hobie. He'll love it.
He will
love it.
just love that. He will. He really will.
He'll hate it, but he'll never let on that he hates it.
Nope.
No,
he'll
he'll
be
be
too
way
nice
too
to say
scared. Yeah.
anything about it.
50
He'll
years
suffer
from now,
silently.
at his funeral, you'll be talking about Hobie.
My dearest Hobie.
I always called him Hobie, and he loved it so much.
Sits up from the casket. I hate it!
It's our special thing.
It's always been our thing.
Shh, lie down, Hobie. Lie down.
I'll push him back down into the box.
It's just rigor mortis. Okay. I have this whole scene happening in my head.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, so those two companies attempted to capitalize on the rising popularity of surfing by promoting skateboarding as a recreation, which was then known as sidewalk surfing, as an alternative to surfing when one did not have access to actual waves.
Aha.
Okay.
Skateboards took off mainly in Hawaii and California, where there was already an established surfer culture. Also a little bit on the East Coast, but definitely not like in the Midwest. Larry Stevenson, publisher of Surf Guide magazine, promoted it in his monthly issue. Boards were designed at the time to look like little surfboards. They were thinner on the fronts and on the backs.
Cute.
So they weren't necessarily their own recreation yet. It was just a offshoot of surfing.
Very intermingled still by the 80s in my case.
In 1963, Stevenson made the first professional skateboards using the Makaha brand and organized the first known skateboarding contest in California.
Ah.
So up until this point, the wheels had been made out of metal, which was real dangerous. In 1963, manufacturers started using clay composite wheels. This improvement didn't necessarily mean that the sport was safer, but it was like easier to maneuver, I guess.
So
you weren't
the
dealing with
metal-
like metal shavings and shit.
Okay, so the metal wheels were dangerous because they could like get cut up and jagged, or they could like pierce the skin if they like hit you wrong.
Yeah, but also just like riding on any kind of surface with just metal wheels. Sometimes they didn't even have like bearings in them. It just wasn't, you couldn't control it very well. So this improvement didn't necessarily mean that the sport was safer. A lot of people skated without shoes because, again, it's like kind of the surfer thing. And shoes at the time, I mean, think of like turn of the century shoes and like 50s shoes. You had like solid material soles. They didn't have like rubber soles yet, not
Yeah.
like the good rubber soles. So skating barefoot was probably easier.
What did people have? Like Converse, if that?
Not yet. We'll get to it.
Oh.
So it was before like all that stuff.
Oh.
So people skating without shoes, and the official skateboarding competitions involved a portion of like slalom style downhill racing.
Oh my God. Okay.
Just seemed really not safe. By the end of 1965, the high number of hospitalizations due to skateboarding led to the sport being outlawed in several cities.
Amazing.
Parents were discouraged from buying skateboards, and stores were urged to stop selling them. So, like the whole
Also,
industry,
it's not like
kinda,
anybody had helmets.
not
They're
yet.
just out there, just raw dogging the sidewalk.
Yep. And the sidewalks themselves
Seriously.
probably weren't. Half the time it was probably like fucking gravel. Just
I
like
remember being at a bowling alley, Eden Prairie Lanes. And
I know
this-
it well.
Yeah. And I was there with this kid. And I was there with a bunch of kids. This had to have been like 8th grade, maybe 9th grade. And we finished bowling early, and he wanted to skateboard and on the sidewalk.
And you were feeling it.
And well, I mean, I didn't like have a crush on him or anything, but I was like, fine, whatever. And he did, and he fell, and he fucking broke his arm, like to the point where bone was sticking out of his skin.
Who was
His name was Blob. I don't remember what his last name was.
Yes, Blob. Got it.
Blob.
You hung out with a lot of kids from different schools.
I did, but he did go to our school, as far as I remember. But anyway, we had to call like an ambulance because none of our parents were there, and we're like 13 and had like no idea what we were doing. Anyway, skateboarding's stupid. R.I.P. Blob.
scary.
I'm sure he's fine. I don't know why I said
Scary.
R.I.P. I think he's probably fine.
R.I.P. He got
And
a
he
horrible
died.
infection in his
You
bones.
guys, he died. I mean, I probably shouldn't say that because I have no idea. He could very well be dead, and I would have no idea.
Well,
Anyway,
maybe
next.
do a little light Facebooking.
Good anecdote.
Please take the camera off me now.
He might be dead. I don't know.
I mean, I don't fucking.
For good measure, R.I.P. Okay.
For all I know. He's extremely dead.
He's either resting or thriving in peace. I don't know. So for this and obviously many more reasons, skateboarding was basically seen as a public health hazard. But has that ever worked to discourage young people from doing something?
No, now it's going to take off like gangbusters.
Yup.
Yeah, so that's part of the reason why the kind of subculture started evolving around this time. Also, in the early 1970s, Vans created the skateboarding shoe, quote unquote. So this was the kind of shoe that I was referring to. It had a latex sole with like a waffle texture, making it sticky.
And they're like flat at the bottom, but like chunky and heavy, right?
I wouldn't say they're chunky and heavy. They're flat on the bottom. They have that waffle texture, so there's more of a grip to it. They also have a lower profile, so you get like a full range of ankle motion. They're just really,
Yeah. But there's not like an arch.
correct. So,
Right.
yep. So it's perfect for riding a skateboard. Also, in the early 70s, Larry Stevenson added his patented kick tail to the end of his boards, so the lip that goes up on one or both ends of the board. So that made it easier to control and also to like do tricks with it.
And like flip it up and hold it and look cool, look badass.
Yeah, look
Sure.
like Bart Simpson.
Yep.
And also the polyurethane wheel came onto the scene thanks to a guy named Frank Nasworthy. And this allowed for skateboards to actually turn without sliding.
Well.
So you can do a lot more with skateboards and they were safer. So these innovations breathed new life into skateboarding and completely revolutionized the industry. In 1976, the first skate park was built in Florida, complete with sloped and banked surfaces that were meant to resemble empty swimming pools, which is where a lot of these skaters, like
Got started.
skaters, were doing stuff. And then that skating, like dropping in and all that stuff, that's known as vertical skating.
Vert skating. We'll
Vert
get to
skating, excellent. I think the opposite of that basically is like street skating, which I liken to parkour.
it. Yeah. Parkour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we have the spread of skateboarding to Europe, specifically Munich. We have the invention of the ollie maneuver, which was like the first like trick. Also videography and the popularity of skateboarding VHS.
What is an ollie? Sorry.
I don't
The little
know.
like bloop. It's just
Like
like
they
a
go
little
up?
like like a little hop.
I think so. It's like a
Dry
ba-
hop.
The dry hop, yeah. Don't ask me. I have no idea.
Okay.
Videography and the popularity of skateboarding VHS tapes. So those could be like instantly released onto a VHS. They could be passed around. This enthused the younger set, which directly affected the fashion of skateboarding and also just other cultural aspects.
Remember how you dated someone and he was really into setting music to snowboarding DVDs?
Oh my god.
Me?
Lucy? Yeah. Bleedy.
It wasn't even snowboarding. It was skiing.
That's worse.
I know. He made really great mixes, though.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Anyway, we don't need to talk about that ever.
Remember how?
Remember? That pseudo relationship that was dragged out to like 3 years was really emotional on one person's side.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
And it wasn't Lucy's side. Next.
Also, the advent of street skateboarding, which I said was like kind of the opposite of vert skating. We have the X Games and the rise of the professional skateboarder, blah, blah, blah. I got really bored, so that's what you get.
Great.
And to round us out, I have some skateboard slang for you from Surfer Today. And they are in alphabetical order. You're welcome.
Oh my God.
We have ABD, already been done.
Bored.
You're a total amateur.
Oh,
Okay, I'm
this is
stealing that.
I know,
really
I like
dumb.
that one.
Okay.
I like that one a lot.
Don't forget your brain bucket, your helmet.
Helmet. Okay.
Oh, no.
That
Hate
one
that.
I know from scooting.
Brain bucket.
Brain bucket. Gross.
I love
Well,
it.
we don't call it that, but like I've heard that.
In
I'm
the
into it.
scooting community.
Yes. It's a robust community.
In the scooting subculture.
You'd be shocked.
Do you vert scoot?
No. But there is a huge like scooter. It's like RagBri / whatever Harley Davidson is for motorcycles. Sturgis. For scooters. and
Whatever
they do it in
Harley
Minneapolis.
Davidson is for motorcycles.
Guys, I'm high.
Remember when I went to Sturgis Falls in Cedar Falls every year and all of my friends thought I was going to Sturgis in South Dakota?
I thought that until our mid to late 20s.
Until you brought me. Until I was physically in Iowa.
I
thought
just
that
assumed
we were going to Sturgis.
Yeah.
Where are the motorcycles?
I'm pretty sure I told my mom that the Fitzgeralds go to Sturgis every year.
For
and I'm
no
going to
reason.
Sturgis with them, and she did not even ask questions. She
Like,
was like,
okay.
have fun.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, they're like teen tap groups parading down this small town
very
street in
confusing.
Iowa. And I
Shiners.
was like, what is that? Where are the motorcycles?
The only motorcycles there are the tiny motorcycles that giant people ride in parades.
Yeah. Really did not figure it out until we were at the motherfucking parade.
Do
Yeah.
I give off Sturgis vibes?
Yeah, your family. I would not. I didn't question it.
It's
that
not
you would
that
go
you
to
give
Sturgis
off-
every year.
It's not that you give off like a motorcycle family vibe. It's that
No, it's
your
just-
family is
it's so
so
weird.
odd that like of
It's
course
like
we wouldn't
quirky.
even Yeah. I just thought it was a Fitzgerald bit.
Quirk. Yeah, like a bit.
Gerald bit.
Just one of your weird bits. You have so many bits in your family. And they're really hard to keep up with. And then when you throw in a different bit, it's a lot easier to just roll with it than to try and figure it out.
What's another bit?
Your
I think we're
Christmas
fairly
cards.
Oh,
You
whole
love
family Christmas, your
Survivor.
Christmas card. Yeah, I mean, Survivor
We were
definitely
really
a
into
Fitzgerald
Survivor
bit.
for a while.
The cabin,
Eating moose.
the cabin in Baudette is a Fitzgerald bit for sure.
Absolutely.
Real place. You've
Yeah.
been there.
It's
Road
also
tripping to Alaska.
That happened
road trips
once.
in general.
Yeah.
Just
it was
affected me
formative.
for the rest of my life.
Listen,
It was formative for all of us.
vintage glassware, that's a Fitzgerald bit. Huge one.
Lots of stuff around booze.
White
Lots of
Russians, entire bit.
Driving Honda Accords.
I could kill a man for a White Russian right now. That sounds so good.
Yeah.
Yum. Let's wrap this up.
Okay, the rest of my slang.
Oh,
We
yeah.
have,
Obits.
if you're doing a fakie, that's riding your skateboard backwards.
How do you
Unclear-
know what's forwards and what's backwards?
Unclear if you're moving backwards, but what's backwards? You're kind of side saddle the whole time. I don't know.
Isn't the
Yeah,
front of
but
the
I feel like
skateboard
most
the
people
same?
are right-handed, so if you're going to the right, that's forwards.
if you're,
if you're
going,
going
to the right, oh, like if you're standing facing to the right, forward.
I hate
Yeah.
this episode
Or
so
just going towards your right hand, to the right.
Well, funny you
to
should
the right.
submit.
Keep up.
Funny you should submit that
Idiot.
theory because my next one is Goofy Foot, which is a skater who rides with their right foot forward as opposed to a regular footer.
So maybe I'm
Like oof
wrong and
tubes.
it's the opposite, but it's
think
one of the
it's-
ways.
it's one of the ways.
Keep up.
Don't be such a grom, Kenyon.
I'm an am.
I'm
sorry.
an am.
A grom is a young skater kid.
I'm not even a grom.
No, you're an am.
You're a
totally
sub-grom. You're an am sub-grom.
Amanda had a crush on a grom at EP Mall and she wouldn't admit it. And then he broke his
Totes.
arm. And then she abandoned him.
She called 911 when he
So
did a
much
fakie.
of that is accurate except the crush. I really would own it if I remembered having one. And I had really bad taste. It's not like Blob would have even been like bringing down my track record. I had atrocious taste in men. So bad, you guys.
I'm
Until like
surprised that
5 years ago.
I was going to say, only for like 20 years of your life, though.
Yeah. 30 years of my life. But yeah,
Your dry hop years.
for sure. I'm fine.
I'm surprised you could see a person skate on a skateboard and not get soaking wet over them.
Yeah. Totally
And
your
not
type.
need to drop everything and dry hop. I can't focus on bowling. I'm too horny.
I'm going to slide down this lane faster than the ball.
Leave my slug trail.
I'll beat the ball down this
I
bowling
need
lane.
new shoes.
These shoes are wet. They came wet.
They definitely came wet, though.
I came wet. These shoes
These
came
shoes-
wet.
These shoes are wet.
Fucking ish.
God.
Okay, next we have mob, which is to have bad style. It's unclear what part of speech this is, so I don't know if you're totally mobbing or if you're such a mob or you
Those
mob.
clothes are really mob.
Clog on my knob.
Clog on my mob.
I'm wearing my mob clogs. I'm not a regular mob. I'm a cool mob.
Clogs are definitely mob.
Slob on my mob clog.
Okay.
Clog.
While I dry hob.
Next.
Slob on my mob clog. Fucking ick.
These clogs are wet.
That is your sexuality, though. Slob on my mom clogs.
I
Mob.
love clogs.
I'm going.
My
I like
mom
clogs.
clogs.
Clog. I need to get myself a pair of mom clogs.
Listen, once you
like
start
with
clogging,
inserts, like an insole clog.
once
so
you go
comfortable.
get some dance goes.
Yeah, they're
Once you
expensive,
go
but
clog,
they're worth it.
you never go back.
I know.
You
It's
never
time.
go bog.
You never go back.
I need to get some mom clogs.
Not me now sending
Just
you
lob
clog
on.
pics. Sexy wet clog. Sexy wet
Yuck,
clogs.
AI. Are you AIing this?
No, but Google Image is
Okay.
giving me a lot to work with.
There's no one still listening to this shit.
I'm just gonna
This is a
skip.
sexy wet clog podcast now.
Just gonna skip the rest. They're so dumb.
Okay.
Well, that's my segment.
Clog on my knob. Oh, these are cute. I have a pair like this. I'll send you a picture.
Okay.
We should
send me
make
the link.
skater clogs.
She was a skater clog. She said, "See you later, clog."
She said, "See, sorry about your arm, blob."
Sorry about your arm, blob.
All right, people. He might not be dead. I don't know.
But he could be. We're covering our bases.
God,
Okay, go to break. Go to break because I'm sending you
We're
clogs
going
and they're
break.
really cute.
Okay.
I am on a new kick trying to be more conscientious about the products that I use. I'm trying to look for cleaner, healthier products, but I still want them to work. And sometimes that can feel like a trade-off, but not with Vegamore. You don't have to sacrifice the efficiency and the effectiveness for products that are actually made with clean ingredients. I love that with Vegamore, I get products that are made with clean ingredients and they give me visibly healthy hair and scalp.
I am a big fan of Vegamore, especially for the scalp aspect. So I have hair extensions, and so they can put a lot of stress on your scalp. And I have been using like so many Vegamore products to just keep my natural hair thicker, fuller, shinier, and also keep my scalp like nourished and protected. And I am obsessed. All Vegamore products are 100% cruelty-free and are never formulated with potentially harmful chemicals like parabens or hormones, which If you color your hair like I do, parabens, bye-bye. No go. Don't do it. That's going to strip the color right out of your hair. Don't do that. And what's even better is Vegamore's value kits, like the Grow Essentials kit, which is what I have. So you get a bunch of amazing products and really great savings. When you sign up for a monthly subscription, you save even more, and you never run low on the products that you need to take care of your hair. This is like an ADHDer's dream. Like, it just shows up on your doorstep when you're starting to run out. It's kind of like magic. The key is consistency in your routine for your most beautiful, healthy looking hair. So I use Vegamore Grow Hair Serum daily. And this is so great for not only my hair, but also my scalp. You like massage it into your scalp. It's so soothing. I feel like I'm at a spa when I'm using it. And I just have it in my bathroom. Like, it's so chill. And fun fact, Vegamore sells 1 bottle of Grow serum every 15 seconds on their website. That is how good this stuff is. Don't sleep on this, y'all.
So give yourself the hair you never thought you could have with Vegamore. For a limited time, Wine and Crime listeners get 20% off their first order by going to vegamore.com/gals and use code GALS at checkout. That's vegamore.com/GALS, code GALS to save 20% on your first order. One more time, vegamore.com/gals, code GALS, and treat your hair and scalp.
Ooh, treat 'em. Folks, I am not the researcher in my relationship, okay? I will buy something if it just sounds fun. But Bill is the researcher. He looks up reviews, he reads articles, he finds expert sources.
He's a one-man Consumer Reports.
He is, and I respect it. And doing your research before you buy means making better and informed choices. So, like, okay, I'll let him do the research and I will benefit from that research. Yeah. And this applies especially when it comes to stress or sleep products like CBD. And Bill and I both have some struggles with our sleep. They're different, but we both have them. And a study by an independent lab confirmed that some brands of CBD contain up to 60% less CBD than they actually claim on the label. So you're just paying for like air, basically. But with Next Evo Naturals, you can trust that you're getting the best of the best. And this is the most clinically studied CBD brand on the market. So Next Evo takes research to the next level. And let me tell you, it works.
You know that I love research. You know what else I love? Sleep and falling asleep easily.
Those are your 2 favorite things.
Literally.
Yes. And sleeping has always kind of been an issue for me. But let me tell you, the future is now. And I have embraced CBD in my life when it comes to helping me fall asleep and stay asleep. So upgrade to a CBD brand that takes quality as seriously as you take your overall health. Next Evo tests their products multiple times to ensure you get 100% of what's on the label. None of that 60% nonsense that Amanda mentioned.
Over it.
Only Next Evo uses Smart Sorb CBD, which is proven to have 30 times better absorption in the first 30 minutes and 4 times the overall absorption as other products. So when I tell you this works quickly and effectively, it's proven. It's on paper. Next Evo does its research as demonstrated by 4 clinical trials. No other CBD brand comes close. And it's not just sleep. It's not just better sleep. Next Evo covers a variety of CBD needs. So if it's stress relief, if it's daily wellness, they have something for everyone.
Upgrade your CBD. Go to nextevo.com/gals, GALS, to get 20% off your first order of $40 or more. That's 20% off $40 or more at nextevo.com/gals and treat your wellness.
Treat it.
Are we ready for my case?
Slamming on his guitar. Yes.
Slobbing on his mop clogs.
Slobbing up on his clogs.
Okay. Mobbing on my clogs.
Okay. This case is the fan pick case. Thank you, Kayla, for informing me about this. I had never heard of this. It is abso-fucking-lutely wild. Gets real dark. As
Great.
fan pick cases are wont to do.
Fucking
You
Kayla.
do that to us,
But let's
kids.
get into it. Okay. So Mark Anthony Rogowski was born on August 10th, 1966. We're almost birthday buddies, but thank God we're not.
Irma Gurr.
He was born in Brooklyn, New York, but moved to Escondido, California at the age of 3 after his parents divorced, and he's really very much a California kid. Escondido is in San Diego County, which means whale's vagina. So think...
Is that true? County means whale's vagina.
San Diego.
Sandy ego.
So Southern California, beach scene, whatever. All of Southern California is one place to me in my brain.
Yeah.
But apparently this is different than LA.
Fish tacos.
San Diego and LA are very different
Yeah.
places.
Like geographically or
Who knew?
Yes, and
Okay.
I'm sending you guys so many cute clothes.
Okay. Very beachy, okay?
Okay.
Got it.
So in Escondido at that time, preteens kind of went one of two routes. So either skateboarding or surfing. And most of Mark's friends turned to surfing, but he went the skateboarding route. And he hung out in a lot of local skate parks and was kind of picking it up at the age of 10, 11, 12. And then in 1978, as a 12-year-old, Rogowski was asked to join a skate team and
Mike Rogowski.
compete.
Yes.
So just 2 years later, at age 14, Rogowski started to skateboard professionally, and he was a bit of a prodigy. Are you still sending clogs?
Yes, she is.
You have
What?
mischievous
No.
face.
What's a clog? This last one doesn't look like a clog.
These are all clogs.
Olsen
Pause.
toad. What makes it a clog?
It's the way that it's made. It's the heel. It's the materials.
I've heard of this
the
company,
shape.
Lotta from Stockholm.
Mm-hmm.
So many clogs. So cute. Mm-hmm. Okay. So he's skateboarding professionally now, all right?
Okay.
He's 14. He's a bit of a prodigy. He won his first major contest, the Canadian Amateur Am Skateboarding Championships in 1982.
Such an am.
And he was featured on the cover of Thrasher magazine in 84 and Trans World Skateboarding in 85, which is not what it sounds like today.
No.
He would go on to receive endorsement deals from Gullwing Trucks and GNS, Gordon and Smith, which is a company.
Gordon
Ramsay Smith.
Got it.
A company that makes boards for both surfing and skateboarding. And today, yesterday when I wrote this, I learned that trucks are not actually trucks that you drive.
Nope.
They are the T-shaped part under the skateboard that the wheels are connected to, and there is a diagram on the drive.
Correct.
I think you just explained it pretty succinctly. I don't know
You
that we
did
need
great.
a
There
diagram.
aren't that many parts to a skateboard.
Let her have this. She loves a map.
I do love a map, and I didn't include any maps, so I had to include a diagram, one or the other.
And what is a diagram if not a map of an item?
Right?
Don't encourage her.
Okay. So Mark was also somewhat of a pioneer when it came to skateboarding endorsement deals. He was the first skateboarder to receive his own pro deck by Vision Sports, which is another fucking skateboarding company. And the deck is the wooden board that you stand on. Think Tech Deck.
Think Tech Deck. Tech Decks are the dumbest fucking things.
Oh,
I
we'll
love
get to
them.
it.
I saved mine. I still have my Tech Deck.
Wow, this
Okay.
explains so much.
It's so fun. I
We'll
love
What do
get
it.
you
to
do
it.
with it?
We'll get
Little
to
hops and spins and twirls and clicks.
it. Can we let me have my segment?
It's very ASMR. Okay. So this lucrative
Do
deal.
I even exist?
Yes, we're ignoring you. This lucrative deal kicked off a trend of other skateboarders like Mark Gonzalez and Tom Grholski making their own signature decks. My deck is cooler than your deck.
My deck's bigger than yours.
Okay.
At the height of his fame, Rogowski was being paid between $4,000 and $8,000 a month, mostly from endorsements.
Dang.
And he was also earning about $2 per skateboard sold by Vision Sports. And they sold about, per skateboard that were his brand or whatever, with his likeness, I guess. And they sold about 7,000 of these a month in 1987. So his monthly royalties just from that deal came close to $14,000 per month in 87.
Wow.
So he's making a shit ton of money.
Yeah, that's good cheddar.
So Rogowski was in league with famous skateboarders like Tony Hawk. Ever heard of him?
Yeah.
Also, Christian Hosoi, no idea. Lance Mountain, sounds like a porn star, and Steve Caballero. I think he's a patron. So I don't know any of these people, but Wikipedia knows them. So apparently there's someone. Mark was especially known for his skill at vert skateboarding. Vertical. So using ramps to move from horizontal tricks to vertical tricks, like in swimming pools. And this style got to start as pool riding and trespassing and the whole subculture, and made it cool in California and whatever. Okay. In the late 1980s, Rogowski's star continued to rise, and he went on tour with other famous pro skaters as part of the Swatch Impact Tour.
Wow. Swatches were so fucking big.
Swatches
So
were
in.
huge.
There's still a Swatch store at the Mall of America.
They're back.
It's cute as shit.
There was a full Swatch store in like the fancy mall in Joburg.
I feel like
where
I
we
wish
lived.
I could combine a smart. I want Swatch to make a smartwatch. Then I feel like I'd
Smotch.
wear it. A Swatch.
Does Swatch make just the straps that you can like attach
Yeah, but
to
the
it?
face is also cute on a Swatch.
I never liked a Swatch. It's not my aesthetic.
I'm not a watch gal or a swatch
Oh,
gal.
but tech decks are.
Love a tech deck.
The fact that you specifically were
tech
into
deck.
tech decks is mystifying.
It's shocking.
I had one and I could do some basic shit with it, and it was just really like satisfying. I love a fidget. I like to.
Yeah, it's like a fidget spinner.
I'm a
but
fidgeter.
Horrible.
I had ADHD and didn't know it.
Tech decks remind me of Start Class and like Blessy Blunkermeyer.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yep. Okay. So he's also starting to gain mainstream fame, and he doesn't star, but he's in skateboarding, doing tricks and whatever in the music video Free Fallin' by Tom Petty. 'Cause I'm free. That one.
We sang
Yep.
that to you
Know
the
it.
day that I went rock wall climbing with your Girl Scout class at REI. Do you remember that?
What?
And that song was playing while you were struggling up the wall. And we all started singing it to you, and you started crying.
I cried? I don't remember that at all.
Your mom got mad at us.
Lock that out.
I can't with you people.
All right. Well, so the music video is painful to watch. I rewatched it yesterday. Oh my God. Rogowski was also a stunt double in the movie Gleaming the Cube, starring Christian Slater. Have you guys heard of it?
No, but Amanda is still sending clog links.
Enough with the clogs.
Oh my God.
Focus.
There's like 25 links.
I'm listening.
Oh, I like these.
Oh.
Right?
The last pair?
Torpendorfs.
They're all really cute
The
because
tor-
I'm really
the
good at this.
Torp and
Tro
Torps
and
claws?
Torps are amazing. I have like 3 pairs of those.
Trowentorps? Jesus. Okay. Are they slippery?
No.
Can I skateboard in them? Can I vert in them?
Can I skateboard in them? I'm getting you a skateboard for your birthday.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay, so Gleaming the Cube, the movie. All of our listeners who are like Gen X and older will know this movie. We were too young because it came out in 89, I think.
Hear that, Gen X? You're old. Hear that, my sister?
Glass houses. Glass
Yeah.
houses.
Wonder if Ashley knows it. So, okay, the movie. This is the blurb about it. A California skateboarder, Christian Slater, who's like 15 in this movie. He is so young, and he's just exactly who he is through the rest of his career. He just is like down pat Christian Slater.
He set the stage real early.
A California skateboarder, Christian Slater, solves and avenges the death of his adopted Vietnamese brother.
Wow.
And
Okay. It's
there's
like Karate Kid, but skateboarding.
A lot of skateboarding. So the phrase gleaming the cube apparently means pushing yourself to outside of your limits. And apparently in the movie, Christian Slater skateboards under like a bunch of trucks, actual trucks, driving trucks.
He gleams his cube.
He gleams the cube. There's like a high-speed chase.
Sure.
Is
Limits
the
were
cube
pushed.
unique to each individual?
I believe so.
Okay.
I don't know the origin. I was thinking Rubik's Cube, but that's probably not right.
Probably not. No.
To glean
Gleam.
one's
Oh, so
cube.
you're allowed to Google things, but I can't spend this entire time sending you all really, really nice, generous clog links.
I
see the imbalance
You're
here.
really
Clogs are
clogging up the chat.
Yeah, the clogs are like $300. Some of us can't afford all these clogs.
I didn't say to get all of them. You could pick like a tight 5.
Type 5. You can spend $900 on clogs.
God. Okay,
Right.
what does it mean, gleaming the cube? What is it?
It just says it originated with the movie, and it doesn't really give any other insight.
So I don't know. I guess we'll just have to watch it. Okay. So throughout the 1980s, Mark Rogowski is riding really high. He's talented, famous, rich, young, but then things start to slide downhill bit by bit. First, vert skating became less and less popular in favor of street skating because, like, I guess not.
Probably more accessible to just
not everyone has access to.
skate on the street.
Also, that was with
An empty pool.
It was with the rise of the VHS tapes because vert
People were
skating
doing
isn't
more, like,
really.
videos.
It's not that interesting. So all the videography and that's all street skating.
Yeah, I'm sure vert skating is like super fun for the person doing it, but in terms of like watching
it, not that exciting.
right. Second, Vision Sports, the company that supported him for most of his career and that he had that board deal with, filed for bankruptcy. And this actually had a really big negative impact on Mark's popularity because he was so linked to this one particular company. And then when it went bankrupt, like the shine came off him a little bit. So in a bizarre attempt to reinvent himself, Mark Rogowski changed his name to Gator Mark Anthony,
Okay.
saying that Rogowski, quote, was the name of the father he never knew. So he dropped his, like,
All right, that's fair.
fine, I'm still gonna, he's got a lot of names in this, so I will refer to him as Mark
Gator.
and Gator and Rogowski throughout.
Oh, Mike Rogowski.
Yeah,
Gator Rogowski.
Gator Rogowski.
Gator, Jesus Christ.
I can't with Gator.
So then, while on a trip to West Germany, Gator fell out of a window and landed on a fucking fence.
Can you imagine seeing an alligator fall out of a window and land on a fence? That would be shocking.
They're supposed to be good at twisting.
Oh, like cats?
Maybe.
He was allegedly partying and was high at the time and had convinced himself that he could fly and actually jumped out of said window.
Convince yourself
there.
you can do a backflip.
Yeah. One perfect cartwheel.
So then when he landed on the fence, he impaled his neck, hand, and thumb.
And lived?
Hand and thumb, like palm and thumb.
Yeah.
Ugh.
He impaled his neck?
Yep. On a fence.
What? No, that's some omen
A
shit.
German fence. It's probably very spiky.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah. It caused serious fucking injuries.
Yeah.
So
You fenced yourself in the neck.
he could have died.
No offense, but you're an idiot.
Maybe
No
he should have died.
offense, but you fenced your neck.
He probably should have died. Okay.
Ugh.
He immediately returned to Southern California to recover. I don't know if he was, I don't think he was medevaced to Southern California, but he
Checked himself into a wellness resort.
yeah, he called an ambulance to the EP mall. He made it back. Okay.
Blob is fine. R.I.P. Blob.
Probably, maybe.
Who knows?
Unconfirmed.
So when Rogowski returns home, he befriends Augie Constantino, who is an
Okay.
ex-surfer turned strict evangelical born-again Christian.
Tell me you're impressionable without telling me you're impressionable.
Just wait. So I looked up Augie Constantino. He is still around. He has an Instagram. He is a virulently racist, anti-Semitic, anti-vax
Cool.
piece of shit. Still surfing.
Great.
Got
It
it.
just goes to show you that there can be like essentially
Shits in every
Nazi
industry.
surfers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like Christian Nazi surfers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's this guy. Okay.
Okay.
And Rogowski is vulnerable because like he had this rising star, he had everything, and now everything's kind of going wrong for him, and now he can't do like the one thing that he loves in his sport, and he's physically injured and just recovering and just kind of hanging around
'Cause
in
he
Southern
couldn't fly.
California. Yeah. So this friendship would prove to be profoundly influential to Rogowski. Whether or not Constantino is to blame for what Gator would become is still up for debate.
Probably didn't help.
But from this point on, Rogowski would never be the same.
Cool. You mean your Nazi friend wasn't a great influence on you? Ugh.
So I don't know if at the time,
Yeah, he might have
I think
gotten
he got,
extremist.
I mean, he was like extremely evangelical, born again Christian at this time. I don't know if he had all the racism at the time, but he certainly has it now.
It's a slippery
Yeah.
slope.
Yeah, yeah. So similarly to Mark, Constantino was a kind of an ex-surfer who, after a night of heavy drinking in Hawaii, had gotten into a serious car crash. He was playing a game of fucking chicken
Cool.
In a vehicle?
in a vehicle, drunk in Hawaii,
Yeah,
and crashed
great.
and was like super injured.
Great.
So he'd suffered major injuries to his legs in the wreck, but he survived, and he attributed his survival to God
Of course.
and saw the accident as a sign to devote his life to Christ.
The reality was you were drunk and it let you be limp and floppy, which is like why so many drunk drivers
Survive, and their
survive.
victims don't.
Because they're relaxed and they're not really tense right at the point of impact.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why you lived, dude, because you were hammered enough to not clench your body and make yourself vulnerable to more injury.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it was, bud.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't Christ, and Christ certainly
Fuck
didn't
you.
want you to become a fucking racist anti-Semite, but whatever.
Yeah. Probs not.
Yeah, his Christianity doesn't help a lot of people, and we're about to get to it. So Rogowski had actually met Constantino before he went on that trip to West Germany, but they were only kind of acquaintances before that. And then when he gets back and he's doing physical rehabilitation, they're spending a lot more time together, like a ton of time together. So Constantino was actively trying to convert Mark to become born again. He would talk to him a lot about God being our one true father, and like intentionally used a lot of paternalistic
Uses
language.
daddy issues.
1,000%.
Fucking manipulative piece of shit.
He used all of that kind of daddy imagery that he knew appealed to Rogowski because Rogowski had been, quote unquote, abandoned by his father at a young age. I mean, his parents divorced, but yeah.
Right.
I mean, talk to me when you've never met your father,
Yeah.
but it's fine.
Let's out trauma each other. Trauma.
Trauma.
Oh my God, I didn't even tell you. I got a second chance to do that
You did?
organically.
In a pool?
Last weekend. Not in a pool,
Boo.
in a garden.
In a garden.
Peeking over a wall.
Drama.
Drama.
Through the bushes. Trauma.
Drama.
It was amazing.
My God.
Oh my God. Okay. So
Oh,
you
no.
might think that this 180 from like rock star alt hero skateboarder to evangelical zealot would be really surprising to Mark's friends and loved ones. But actually, people weren't shocked by Rogowski's newfound obsession with religion.
Great.
Perry
That's a good sign.
Perry Gladstone, who was the owner of a skateboarding shop called Fish Lips.
Ooh.
Nope. I'm good. Thanks. Bye.
Baby fish mouth.
Yeah.
No, baby fish mouth. I just watched that recently.
Zach and I say baby fish mouth to each other probably daily.
I love that.
So good.
Oh my God.
Baby fish.
So this is this guy that
But
knew
maybe
him at the
Fishmouth is
time.
sweeping the nation.
Quote, yeah, he was a fanatic, but that's just it. He was fanatic about everything.
Okay.
So he just-
So that makes it fine.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So one of the biggest areas of Mark's life that was impacted by his new religious zeal was his romantic relationship.
Uh-oh.
Great.
Rogowski had met Brandy McLean when he was just 21, and she was also really young. I think she was slightly younger than him, but like late teens, early 20s. They came from different backgrounds. Brandy was actually from an affluent family on the East Coast, but she'd gotten connected to the skateboarding world and with her close friend, Jessica Bergston. A lot more on Jessica later. They'd attended this skate tour in Arizona that Mark was competing at. Okay, so that's how they meet.
Okay.
Also, like, Brandy and Jessica are both like young, beautiful, very like California, like that aesthetic, you know, girls.
Sure.
Brandy and Mark hit it off right away, or very early in their courtship. She would like fly from New York to LA to visit him all the time, and she had the money to do that. But they get serious in their relationship very early on, and she moves out there full time, and they move in together. They were big partiers, as we probably know from the fence incident. Lots of drinking and drugs, mostly weed, also lots of cocaine, and lots of sex because they're like, 22 and
Right.
in love.
And
Right.
on amphetamines.
Yeah, and doing a lot of cocaine.
I'll bet.
But even with their hectic lifestyle for years, they were inseparable. And like Brandy was even like briefly alongside Mark in the Free Fallin' video. She's one of the like hype girls on the vert ramp.
God.
It's
Ick.
painful to watch. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, Tom Petty just like pops up in it all the time.
Jump scare.
It's like you're looking at these like beautiful like 20-year-old like tan California kids, and then just like Tom Petty, just like
He's always been
Jesus.
70.
yeah, he looks exactly the same now.
Oh.
It's really jarring, and just every 20 seconds, Tom Petty. Okay.
Yikes.
So they move in together. Eventually, though, quote, Gator bought a ranch in the mountains near Tony Hawk's new ranch, which he'd equipped with a whole series of wooden skating ramps. But Brandy became bored with the ranch because, like, I don't think she skateboards, and she wants to, like, party and be in San Diego and not, like, in the middle of nowhere.
And like watching your boyfriend play video games is not that fucking fun.
There aren't even
not.
video games back then, so just watching your boyfriend skate.
That's what I'm
all
saying.
the
It's
time.
the equivalent.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, can we not?
Yeah.
Can we get back to the city? Thank you. So the cracks are beginning to form already. But when Rogowski went through his faith conversion, Brandy was decidedly not into it.
Not here for it.
No. At one point, he tried to persuade her to come with him to Cavalry. I can never say that.
Cavalry.
Calvary or cavalry?
Calvary.
Calvary.
Calvary Church, where Augie Constantino worked, but she wasn't interested. So, like, Mark's trying to, like, convert her, and she's like,
Nah.
Dude, fucking, what the fuck is this?
It's okay. I'm good.
yeah. Imagine dating someone who then becomes a born-again Christian while you're dating.
Oh, no, thank you.
Yeah.
I'd rather not imagine that. Thanks for playing, though.
Holby, no.
Hobie.
No, Hobie.
So then Mark tells her that they should stop having sex because they're not married.
Oh, okay.
And her reaction is everything.
Mm.
Quote, we literally had sex 5 times a day. We were so in love. Then he met Augie and started saying, we can't have sex anymore unless we get married. And I'm like, wait a minute. We've been going out for 4 years.
Yeah. Why now?
Having mad sex for 4 years. And we can't have sex anymore? I can't deal with this. Later.
Bye-bye. Good for her.
Later,
Later.
skater. Gator.
Fucking no.
Later
Gator skater.
Later, Gator. Yeah, she's out.
Yeah, bye-bye.
So in 1991, they break up, and that should be the end of the story, but of fucking course.
It never is.
It's not, because fucking patriarchy. So post-breakup, Brandy starts dating someone that she is surfing with, and Gator can't fucking handle it. He loses his damn mind. Not that he hasn't already, clearly, but...
Sure.
So he starts to leave threatening messages on Brandy's mother's answering machine.
Okay.
Because I think she moved out, so now I think she's like sort of living at home, and there aren't cell phones.
Yeah.
Whatever. Quote, he was calling me up, leaving all these freaky messages. He'd growl. You bitch, you cunt, you're gonna fry in hell from your toes. Weird shit like that.
Ugh.
Okay.
So then Rogowski breaks into Brandy's house, ostensibly to take back all the things that he'd given her during their relationship.
Yikes.
Which he
Very
did.
Christ-like.
Yeah, totally. That's what Jesus would want.
Yeah.
He did take all those things, but I think it was also like a power move to like show that he could get into her space.
Definitely. Yeah.
You know? At one point, trying to diffuse the situation, Brandy agrees to let Rogowski take her out to dinner in an effort to, quote, make amends. So she's like, dude, like, you've been acting crazy, whatever. And he's like, I'm sorry. Like, let me, like, show
Let
you
me
I'm
make it up to
sorry.
you.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And she agrees because, like, they were inseparable. They were in love. They dated for 4 years.
She
And-
trusted him. She's like, you're just going through something weird. We're going to figure this out.
Right.
Is kind of
Yeah, she
probably
wanted
where
to still
her
be
head's
friends, or at least not, like, enemies.
at. Right.
Yeah, she wanted him to just not be insane.
That is way too much to ask of a man, though.
Yeah.
That's on her.
So they start fighting pretty much the moment he picks her up to go to this make amends dinner. And he's yelling at her, and Brandy remembers thinking, quote, his voice got all deep, and, you know, he sounded like the devil. He says, you know what? I should take you out to the desert right now. I should drive you out right in the middle of the night and beat the shit out of you and leave you there. And I would get away with it because everybody would know that you deserved it.
Oh, God, that's gross.
And
Wow. Okay.
so I don't think they went to dinner.
Not great.
Probably didn't
She got
make
the
it.
fuck out of there.
God.
She is now justifiably terrified.
Yeah.
And she's like, you know what? This is like way too fucking heavy for me. Like, I got to get out of here. And he has a lot more power than she does because, like, he has money and fame and, like, connections in the skateboarding world. And she moved out there to be with him.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's gone completely off his rocker and is threatening her. And she's like, fuck this. So she takes off back to New York to be,
Anywhere
like, feel
else.
safe and, like, be around what she knows. But she leaves California in such a rush, and she's so upset that she didn't tell that many people that she was going or why she was going. Because it's not like there's social media back then. She would have had to, like, individually call people's landlines
Yeah.
to be like, my ex has gone insane. I'm going to New York today. Like, you wouldn't do that, you know?
Yeah.
You just go. And that's what she did. So one person who didn't know about any of the threats, knew about the breakup, but not the threats,
Yeah.
was Brandy's best friend, aspiring model Jessica Bergston.
Why didn't she
Remember?
tell her best friend?
Well, she probably was going to when she got back to New York and got situated.
Oh,
Right.
was Jessica in New York?
Jessica was in Arizona.
Okay.
So Jessica, I'll get to it in this next sentence. So remember that Jessica had known Mark Rogowski for as long as Brandy had known him. They'd met all at the same time at that skate competition 4 years ago. Or even more, almost 5 years ago at this point. And Jessica had been living in Tucson. She has no idea that her friend is essentially hiding from Mark at this point. All she knows is that, like, they broke up. But
Yeah. They're not doing well.
yeah, but it's, you know, whatever. Like, you can still be friends with your friend's
course.
ex if there's not, like, all this extenuating circumstances.
Yeah.
So when Jessica moves to San Diego for work, kind of on a whim, because she's modeling, so she like gets a gig basically and decides to move to San Diego. She can't get a hold of Brandy, so she calls up Mark to hang out because he's like the only other person she knows that lives there.
Mm-hmm.
And Jessica had absolutely no idea what she was walking into. Because how could she?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So Rogowski would later say that everything he hated about Brandy, he also saw in Jessica.
Oh, good. So he hates the girlfriend and the best friend.
Oh, no.
He hates women is what it
He
is.
hates women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wham.
Tight.
So they were both tall, blonde, hot blonde.
Oh, my God. I recently re-listened to that episode, and she holds up.
Yeah.
It's Catfishing Crimes. It's really early. It's like within the first 20-something episodes.
You know, she's free-spirited. She's like 22 years old and a model and, you know, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Too free-spirited for Jesus, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So she has no fucking clue. She just calls up Mark because he's like the one person she knows there.
Mm-hmm.
They decide to meet up and go to an Italian restaurant for lunch. They have a normal lunch. Then they rent some movies and get some wine, and they head back to his apartment to hang out.
Getting a little cozy with your best friend's ex-man, but okay. We're going to let it go because she's a victim.
So up until this point, Mark had acted completely normal.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been totally his idea, too. And she's like, I don't know. I don't have any other friends here.
Yeah,
Sure.
I can see how contextually that would be fine.
just a hangout,
Yeah.
you know?
Just Scandival is really leaving me very fragile, vulnerable these days. So I can't trust it.
Well, it's about to get horrific.
Great.
So here we go.
Do with that what you will.
So he'd been acting completely normal at this lunch, offered to like continue the hang. Earlier that day, he'd shot a TV commercial. So like his career is turning back around. Everything seems to be on the up.
Mm-hmm.
But then, and we will likely never truly know what or why, something in him snapped.
Mm-hmm.
Rogowski, all of a sudden, they're back at his apartment. He tells Jessica he needs to go grab something from his car and he'll be right back. He leaves. She's just sitting there chilling, watching this movie rental, Gleaming the Cube, probably on VHS.
Ick.
Sounds sexual. I don't like it.
I know.
Hate it.
It sounds like jerking off, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Polishing your
Polishing your knob, gleaming your cube.
Blob on my knob.
Yeah. Anyway. So he's like, I need to go grab something from my car. She's like, okay. Comes right back. When he gets back to the apartment, he sneaks up behind her
No.
and hits her repeatedly in the head with a steering wheel lock.
What?
Ugh.
Out of
The fuck?
nowhere.
What?
She's literally
No.
sitting on the couch or chair or whatever, and he just comes up and whacks her on the back of
Bashes
the
her
head,
head in.
bashes her head in with this metal, heavy.
Yeah.
Steering
May as well be a
wheel.
crowbar. dude.
Yeah.
That he
yeah.
probably
The fuck?
had in his car.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He went out to his car,
Yeah,
left something in his car.
But my point is
my murder
that
weapon.
it was not necessarily like premeditated because it was like a crime of opportunity because it was just something he essentially had lying around.
I don't know. He lured her back to his apartment and then went and got the weapon and then came back. So that's premeditation. It doesn't have to
Yeah.
be planned for weeks to be premeditation.
Well, maybe it's premeditated, but it's still like crime of opportunity ish. Ugh.
So stunned, because like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I was just watching Gleam my knob
Yeah.
quietly like a normal person.
Still conscious, Jessica is then handcuffed and carried into Rogowski's bedroom.
The fuck?
He then cuts off her clothing, like with scissors, and rapes her repeatedly for 2 to 3 hours. All
Fuck?
while screaming Bible verses at her about like modesty.
Ooh. Oh.
Oh my God.
Okay, guy.
If that's not a metaphor
fuck?
for patriarchal religion anyway, I don't know what is.
Jesus
Oh my God, that's
Christ.
so fucking gross.
It's horrific.
I can't even fathom what this poor girl went through, like out of fucking nowhere.
Kayla, what's wrong with you?
Yuck.
I mean, imagine. Like, imagine if, like, Blick, well, I ended up hating Blick in the end, but, like, imagine if that didn't happen and Blick, like, invited me to hang out after you broke up and I was like, yeah, sure. And then all of a sudden he'd, like,
bludgeoned you with a steering wheel lock.
Like, what the fuck?
That's also only like, 6 months after they broke up? Not even?
Yeah.
It's not like it was 20 years ago.
No.
They still, like, knew each other.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, no.
They'd hung out. They were skater friends. She didn't know about any of this fucking shit.
That's horrendous.
Again, she's still conscious. She's bleeding profusely, but still conscious while all this is happening.
Right. Yeah.
And she's begging her former friend to stop, but he is on some shit.
Yeah.
Not there.
He proceeds to stuff her screaming inside his surfboard bag.
No.
Ew.
Dude,
like a
what
body
the
bag.
Where she suffocates to death.
No.
Oh, because I bet it's like waterproof.
Ugh.
It's so fucking horrific. This
my
poor girl.
God.
Yikes. Ugh.
Oh, that's so
No.
fucking gross.
Mm-hmm.
So, sorry, it's like really getting to me. So then, much like he'd threatened to do to Brandy, Rogowski loaded the surfboard bag into his car and drove Jessica's body out to a desolate place, which is Shell Canyon.
Mm-hmm.
And he buried her in a shallow grave and then drove back to the city and stopped to pick up a carpet steamer on the way because she'd been bleeding all over his apartment.
Oh.
Ew. Ugh. No.
After not hearing from his 22-year-old daughter for several days right after she moved to San Diego, Jessica's father, Steven Bergson, is really fucking worried. And he flies from Tucson to San Diego and begins searching for her as a missing person. So it's great that he like did not waste any time. He was like, this is
Something's off.
something ain't right, and I got to get out there and figure out what the fuck's going on. Unsatisfied with the work that the San Diego police were doing, he starts plastering the town with posters looking for his daughter. And then Bergson even met with Rogowski, since he knew that he was one of the few people Jessica knew out there.
Right.
And Mark just plays dumb and tells him he doesn't know where she went.
Of fucking course he did. Prick.
Police, too, eventually come to question Mark, probably because the father is like, well, this is the one person she knew out there.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no obvious evidence in his house to be found because he's fucking carpet steamed everything and they don't have a warrant to like test with luminol yet. And they don't have enough to like do a proper search.
Yeah, to go there.
So several weeks, possibly even like months, I don't know, unclear, go by, and a poster of Jessica is up at the 7-Eleven where Rogowski and Constantino are always hanging out.
Okay. So haunting them. Good. As it should be.
Well,
Like that one guy. The Grim Sleeper.
Oh, sure.
oh, the
I remember
billboard
things.
in his
Billboard,
neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. So they're hanging out at this 7-Eleven. There's a poster of Jessica on the wall. Constantino is in the dark about all of this.
Okay.
Unclear that he even knew that Mark knew Jessica. I don't think he even knew that. So one day they saw some random women go into the 7-Eleven and they were dressed in what they felt was revealing clothing.
Oh, egg.
Jesus Christ. And so
Fucking psychos.
Constantino essentially heckles this stranger woman and tells her to change her clothes and then come back to, quote, talk about Christ.
No, I'm good. Bye. I just really want my ding-dangs
Yeah.
and to be left the fuck alone.
Yep. So
I really want
unsurprisingly, she tells him to go kick rocks
Yep.
and says, quote, I have nothing to worry about.
I'm good.
Worry about yourself, you
Yep.
freak.
Mind your fucking business, you cocksucker.
Yeah.
God.
But then Augie, who again, in the dark, doesn't know what Mark has done, points to the poster with Jessica on it
No, he does not.
and says, quote, she had nothing to worry about, but where is she now? She could have been involved in drugs, pornography. Maybe she's dead.
And he doesn't know.
Total coincidence.
Oh my God.
He just is trying to like
scare
I'm
this
sorry,
woman.
like-
mansplain
Ghosts are real. Like, ghosts are real. She is reaching out from beyond the grave in this moment. Fuck.
So the coincidence shocks the shit out of Rogowski.
Yeah, who probably went white as a sheet and
Yeah.
almost puked, I bet. I fucking would.
And he later tearfully confesses the murder to Constantino a few days later.
Oh, you're sad?
Oh my
you're
God.
sad about what you
I
did?
didn't mean to brutally kill my friend.
It scared
Yeah,
me
oh,
what you said. It
oops.
made me feel bad.
Yeah, bummer. Bye.
But Jesus
Fuck you.
will forgive me, right?
Oh my God. That is
Thing
so
is,
fucking creepy.
no. He won't forgive you.
I love it.
So Constantino, ever the believer in Christian confession and the power of forgiveness, convinces Mark, again, he has like some crazy sway over Mark,
He's his dad.
Apparently. Yeah.
to go to the police and tell them everything without a lawyer.
I mean,
That's what
Which
Jesus
is like
would've
the
done.
one good thing that this Constantino
so yeah,
person
that
has
this man's
ever
ever
done.
done. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
literally where I was going
Yeah.
with that. It's like, okay, you did one decent
Yeah,
thing.
it's the only redeeming thing. Like, you created this monster, but at least you
Yep.
convinced this monster to give himself
You helped
up.
take him out. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Constantino told him that the only lawyer he needed was God.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, Esquire.
I
So-
love Jesus Christ, Esquire. I want that.
Investigators were absolutely floored when Mark shows up out of the blue and confesses in detail to the whole thing.
Oh my God. Excellent.
Can you imagine?
No.
I can't imagine any of this shit. This is nuts.
This is the
God.
right. Isn't this story insane?
Yeah.
I can't believe any of this happened.
I know. It's all so random.
Ugh.
So Jessica's body had been found almost a month earlier, but it was so decomposed that they were not able to identify her. So they had the body, but they didn't know it was Jessica. They didn't know it was related to this case, and they're still looking for her as a missing person. And all of a sudden, he's like, yeah, well, I handcuffed her, and I raped her, and I took her out to the desert, and I buried her. Oops.
Was she buried in the bag?
No,
I think
because I feel like they
so.
would have connected the surfboard
Right.
bag.
Right.
Oh,
Okay.
Right.
I don't know that for sure, but that is my assumption.
I would assume so too, because a surfer bag you'd think would be pretty,
Connected.
maybe not easily traceable, but somewhat traceable.
Right? Like somewhat custom or like
he's a
something.
Professional skateboarder. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't know. So, as part of his confession, Rogowski took police to the burial site and uncovered more evidence for them. So, he must have like dumped her clothes or something else out there as well. Possibly the murder weapon. I don't know. Or his bloody clothes. I don't know what else he showed them, but it proved without a doubt that he did murder her
Yep.
because he knew where she'd been buried and found all this other evidence. So
Right.
it's not a false confession. Despite initially confessing without a lawyer, because the only lawyer he needed was God,
Yeah.
God's a shitty
Jesus
lawyer.
Christ, Esquire.
Rogowski was eventually given one, and the defense...
I waited all Tuesday for my lawyer.
All Tuesday for my lawyer to
God
come,
lawyer.
and he never came.
just had something else to do. Can you believe it?
He's setting up for Willy Walleye Day.
Oh my God. What if that's why Jesus has never returned? Until we end Willy Walleye Day, we might never know.
Required. It's a big
Set up
event.
every year.
There's blockades at both ends of the street. There is one street.
Oh my God.
So he is eventually given a lawyer, and the fucking lawyer is revolting and tried to attack Jessica's character, telling a reporter that the victim was, quote, a slut.
Wow.
What?
Yep.
Wow.
Jesus.
Cool.
And then tried listing, but without actually naming, all the men that she'd allegedly slept with in college.
You're kidding me.
Nope. What? As if that had any relevance. It's like the most crystallized victim blaming, slut shaming
Bullshit.
of all time.
This whole thing is just the patriarchy embodied in the most acute, violent abuse of a single woman.
Yep.
Oh my God.
This is
It's essentially an honor killing, kind
Yeah.
of. And her crime was just being young and pretty.
And alone in a
And his
city where
ex-girlfriend's
she knew
friend.
one fucking person.
right.
Oh my God.
So the defense also tried to argue that Jessica's decomposed remains couldn't show signs of rape, and so that charge should be dropped, even though Mark had literally already confessed to it.
He said he fucking did it. Also, this is not funny at all, but it just reminded me what you're saying right now about the dropped rape charge. It reminded me of the ongoing, well, recently, as of yesterday, completed
E.G.
Trump
Carroll.
trial.
Yeah.
And I was informed that when it came down to it, the reason that the full-blown rape charge could not be confirmed was because the victim could not confirm whether the mushroom of Trump, the Trump shroom, made it inside of her or not because of how insignificantly sized it is.
How do you know this?
I was sent information in the form of many tweets from the court correspondence, the court record.
So many things to say about that, to
Yeah.
unpack there.
Oh my
Number
God.
one, doesn't need to be penetrative to
Does
be rape.
not.
Doesn't
Does
need to
not.
be penetrated by a penis to be rape.
Correct.
A digit, a finger.
And the digital penetration was confirmed.
Yep.
And I think that's why the sexual assault
right.
charge,
Battery.
battery, still apply.
Right. But technically, according to the law,
Yeah.
that is still rape.
Oh, it's fucking absolutely still rape.
Yep.
I just hope that along with the no consequences that man is going to get, and size does not matter, but it matters to him. And I am hoping for humiliation so profound that he simply explodes, like spontaneously combusts.
Here's the thing. Psychopathic narcissists cannot feel humiliation.
Well, then I do
They
feel a
can
lot
be
better.
angry,
Yeah.
but they cannot feel shame.
He's not
I
gonna
do feel-
recede.
A lot better about spilling that entire gallon of paint in the Ace Hardware parking lot the other day then, because that confirms I am not a psychopathic narcissist.
'Cause you were a
I
bit
felt
deeply
a
ashamed.
lot of shame
Yeah,
and embarrassment.
No, you're not. You're
so
not.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Directing traffic around your wet paint.
You guys were so bad. We're so fucking good. Anyway,
okay.
I just, thought
Yeah.
that felt adjacent.
Or how about Trump trying to say repeatedly that E. Jean Carroll, quote, wasn't his type, and then he
He says that about-
misidentified her in a photograph
As his wife?
as his wife.
Yeah.
He says that about every victim,
Which
too.
also psychopathic narcissists aren't the best at identifying faces.
Well, she's just another woman.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah. Anyway.
Good God.
Okay, so the defense
it here.
also tried to call Augie Constantino Mark's, quote, religious minister,
Ish.
and said that in that role, Constantino had no right to tell Mark to turn himself in because it wasn't like a crime in progress.
No, this isn't confession. Don't try and fucking play that angle. You're not a Catholic priest. And even if you were, don't they still have
Yeah, if someone's
some
dead.
kind of like duty to report?
Yes.
It depends. They can't be held liable.
Like forced to testify or
if
whatever.
they know that you had killed someone previously, they're not required and
To
they
tell.
can't
But
be
also-
liable for it. But if you say, I'm going to kill someone this weekend, yeah, that's a different story.
Like if someone is ongoing missing, that's ongoing.
Yeah, an
that's
active
a crime in progress.
investigation.
And two, Constantino's not an official fucking minister. And
Yeah,
three,
and two,
he
this
didn't-
doesn't apply.
doesn't apply because he just convinced Mark
To go confess himself.
To confess himself. It's not like he turned him in.
Correct.
It's fucking stupid. I fucking hate his lawyer. Okay.
Also, I want to be heretofore referred to as your religious ministers, ladies. And I'm actually fucking ordained. So
Right.
it does apply.
Right.
Yeah.
So none of this worked, thank Christ. unironically. Christ Esquire.
Thank Christ Esquire.
Rogowski ended up pleading guilty to rape and murder to avoid the death penalty or no chance of parole. So he basically gets life in prison with a chance of parole for pleading guilty to both. Because he fucking did both, and he confessed to both.
Yeah.
Jessica's father, Stephen, threatened Rogowski in the open courtroom, yelling that he was, quote, a coward and should, quote, die 1,000 deaths. So they had to, like, give Rogowski, like, special security in the courtroom.
That's not really a threat.
I don't think so either. He murdered this man's 22-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
He didn't say, I'm going to fucking kill you.
Yeah.
And
let
even
him
if
have
he
his
had-
emotional outbursts, for fuck's sake.
Right. I know. It's fucking stupid. We just have to protect fucking rapists, murderers. So in 1992, Gator was sentenced to 31 years with the possibility of parole starting in 2010.
That's not long enough.
Parole was denied in 2011 and 2016. It was approved
Great.
in 2019, but was reversed in 2020 by California Governor Gavin Newsom, who said that he needed a, quote, deeper understanding of his crimes. And then he got parole again in 2022, but it was again reversed by Newsom because this is a high-profile case, and Gavin Newsom is like, I'm not fucking the one that's going to let Gator out.
It's not on my watch.
Yeah.
You're not releasing that Gator on my terms.
Absolutely not.
I can't blame Newsom for not wanting to take that political risk.
I wouldn't let this guy out, and I didn't have time because my case was already super long, but I didn't have time to include some of the quotes from this fucking asshat in prison, but he has not fucking learned his lesson. He, like, says things to make it sound like he's remorseful, but then the tone and the way that he's saying it, it's like, you are a fucking narcissist, paternalistic, patriarchal fucking weirdo. Absolutely not. Bye-bye.
Hate it.
Bye. And Brandy is living her best life. She's married. She's got kids. You know, she has moved on from all of this, except that her fucking best friend was murdered for no reason.
That's the thing. I have to imagine Brandy's survivor's guilt, knowing that, like, it easily could have been her. She's the one who was in the... Yeah.
She was the real psychological target of his crime. He couldn't get to her because she had got the fuck out of Dodge to save herself because she recognized the situation.
Yep.
But he was murdering Jessica to murder Brandy.
Yep.
I don't
Poor
like
Jessica.
this. Let's move on. This was one of the grossest cases we've ever covered.
Of all
Well,
times.
we're about to get to something far grosser. So let's take a quick break
Tech
and then
decks?
come back. Yes.
They're so good.
Okay, we'll be right back. It's summer. You're probably spending more time outdoors. Maybe you're biking. You're just getting the most out of
Gardening.
nature,
Hot girl
gardening.
walking.
I really
Hot girl
sweat when I
walking.
garden. Yeah.
Yeah. And staying hydrated is extremely important to your health and your well-being. And Liquid IV is the category-winning hydration brand fueling your well-being. And their hydration multiplier is the one product you're missing in your daily routine. Let me tell you, it's like pulling the NOS on your hydration routine.
For real.
In just one stick, you get 5 essential vitamins and 2 times faster hydration than just plain old boring water alone. Use it first thing in the morning, before a workout, before that bike ride, before that gardening marathon. Maybe when you feel a little run down, you could use a little boost. Maybe after a long night out, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
On a long flight, the travel, you got to stay hydrated.
Absolutely. And you guys know that in the past I have struggled with hydration.
Oh, I hate water.
But that has all changed since I got on the Liquid IV train. 1 stick of Liquid IV in 16 ounces of water hydrates you 2 times faster and more efficiently than water alone. Also, it tastes great. They have 12 delicious, refreshing flavors to keep your hydration routine exciting. That was always my problem. I found drinking water, like,
It's boring.
and so I wouldn't do it. But Liquid IV has amazing flavors. I have loved their passion fruit and also their acai berry flavors. And now they have a new sea berry flavor. I'm into the berries, guys. I like berries. Okay? Liquid IV also contains 5 essential vitamins, B3, B5, B6, B12. Be into it. Also vitamin C. And they have 3 times the electrolytes of traditional sports drinks without all of the sugar. Also non-GMO, free from gluten, dairy, and soy. And it's just made with premium ingredients. So like you can feel good about drinking it even though it's not boring water.
Grab your Liquid IV in bulk nationwide at Costco, or you can get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code GALS at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code GALS at liquidiv.com and treat your hydration.
Trade it.
Oh God, Father's Day is right around the corner, and I bet you haven't gotten your dad or maybe your father-in-law a gift yet because dads are really hard to shop for. But don't worry, that is where the sponsor of today's show comes in, Manscaped. You and I both know that dad needs some serious grooming in his life. So grab him the Performance Package 4.0 and he will thank you for helping him tame everything he's got going on. And it's a win-win situation, not just for dad, but also for everyone who has to look at him. So go to manscaped.com and use code GALS20 for 20% off plus free shipping.
Okay, I'm obsessed with that, and Manscaped is the only men's brand dedicated to below-the-waist grooming and perfected their game with the Lawnmower 4.0. So imagine surprising your dad or just like the fatherly figure in your life with a sleek, well-designed, and optimized grooming kit that says, "Your balls will thank you" on the box.
I mean, it's definitely a conversation starter, their packaging.
It is. Their 4th-generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. And you might ask, how is this Lawnmower 4.0 different from other trimmers? Well, this upgraded trimmer includes a multifunction on-off switch that can engage a travel lock, so it's not just going to pop on in your bag. And this is a great feature if your father or you yourself do a lot of traveling.
Yeah, you don't want dad's suitcase to like vibrate at TSA. Not fun.
It's a toothbrush, I swear.
It also gives you the ability to turn the 4000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave. It can be hard to see down there. You can now shave your balls in the dark. The Lawnmower 4.0 even allows you to customize your trim through additional guard lengths with sizes 1 through 4. So if you want to get a fun little style, you want a high and tight, you want a little looser, you got options. Have you ever seen a nose bush sticking out of your dad's nose?
Yes.
I know I often did back in my day. Well, the Weed Whacker 2.0 nose and ear hair trimmer is the best nose hair trimmer on the market and the perfect gift for your pops. They also have other amazing products like cologne, crop mop, ball wipes, crop reviver, ball toner, and crop preserver ball deodorant. Get rid of your daddy's stinky balls. So get your dad a gift that you know they will use.
That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code GALS20. Don't forget that you came from your dad's balls. This year, show your original home some love with Manscaped.
Okay, are we ready for my section?
I don't know.
I mean,
Let's just go. Let's just do
you
it.
guys,
More
it's
wine.
no shade. It's no shade to our fan picker. I hate this topic so much.
That's okay.
And like I said, the cases other than the fan picker case were so lackluster. So instead, I'm going to take this opportunity to complain for approximately 20 minutes about the fucking dumbest trend in history. Tech deck fingerboards, which we have shockingly learned Kenyon is obsessed with.
I can't believe you just knew where that was.
It was handy. It was where I keep all of our middle school notes.
I think
What
where
craftsmanship. This thing has survived for a long time. They don't make shit like this anymore.
I mean,
They
they currently
don't.
make exactly those, so that's fun. I think where I agree with you on like the fidget portion of it and the miniature portion of it, like that hits a dopamine receptor for my ADHD brain.
Right.
But where I lose it, for you, it's ASMR. For me, it is like the sound of that fucking thing is sensory overload. It is nails on a chalkboard. It is so annoying.
So you don't like it.
I hate
I just can't believe for how few like muscle physical skills you have that doing tech deck flips is among your talents.
Well, I'm very excited for you to show us
I'm literally
some of your
trying
stuff.
right now.
I'm gonna do a little tutorial at the end, not a tutorial, but I'm gonna. Well, there you go. I'm gonna read you some possible tricks, quote unquote, and we'll see.
Maybe
if
for Patreon, I'll make a video of me attempting all these tricks.
That'll be
I
the
would love
TikTok
that.
video that you owe for Andrea.
Oh, and also maybe show up in the video that we're recording right now for this episode. It's very possible. So this will basically be a compilation of like chunks of articles that I put together, peppered with my own glowing commentary. This was all I could muster the strength to do for this episode. And no, I will not apologize. Here we go. From StokeRideShop.com, just kill me now. Quote, in the early 1990s, two skateboarders from California had the idea to create miniature replicas of professional skateboards. They started a company called Extreme Skateboards, with an X, and began selling their products in toy stores. The company didn't last long, but the idea of miniaturized skateboards caught on. In 1997, another California-based company called World Industries launched a line of miniature skateboards called Tech Decks.
So cool. Trademark.
It's already been trademarked.
I know.
Oh, okay.
I'm not trying to trademark
I thought
Tech
you
Deck.
were trying to
I'm
trademark
not a
it.
psychopathic narcissist.
Ma'am.
Trademark.
Fun facts.
Hashtag bug facts. Tech decks quickly became popular with kids and adults alike, and today they are one of the most popular toys in the world.
Seriously?
Still. Mhm.
Jesus Christ.
Thanks to their small size and portability, tech decks are perfect for taking anywhere and everywhere. So whether you're at home, at the park, or on the go, you can always enjoy a game of fingerboarding.
If you're at the park, get a skateboard.
Yep.
Sometimes you can't. Maybe your foot is in a cast.
Maybe.
Stoke Ride Shop goes
Good
on
point.
to ask an
Maybe
incredibly
you have one foot.
important.
Maybe you have a club foot.
There's a lot of reasons why you might not be able to have a skateboard. That doesn't mean get a fingerboard, though. It's not what it means. Stoke Ride Shop goes on to ask an incredibly important question. Is finger skateboarding a sport?
No.
Quote, most people would say that finger skateboarding is not a sport. This is because it does not involve physical exertion or competition, which is actually not true. However,
try to tech deck with carpal tunnel at 35.
You fucking try to tech deck. You fucking try.
It's only
did
a
use a
sport
tech
when your
deck.
chronic pain sets in.
I did have a tech deck in the 90s for my Barbies.
Yeah.
And I'd put a Barbie on one.
It's so-
that
yeah.
I did do.
And the top of it is like a soft nail file.
Well, yeah, it's like emery
Texture.
board, like an actual skateboard
Like
top.
Just the grip
Soft.
tape. That's what it's. That's
Yeah,
what
it's
a
grip.
top of a skateboard is.
I have to Google who Mark Johnson is.
It's
That I've had at the bottom of my
it's
tech
like an
deck since
emery
7th
board.
grade.
However, some people argue that finger skateboarding can be considered a sport because it requires skill and technique. Like other sports, finger skateboarding can be enjoyed recreationally or competitively. Whether or not finger skateboarding is considered a sport is ultimately up to the individual. So no, it's not a fucking sport.
the dumbest fucking thing.
And yes, I still have PTSD flashbacks of boys in middle school tech decking on their desks in the middle of English class, and I can't fucking hear what's going on. And Mrs. Lee is then getting upset with them because they're being really distracting, and I already have ADHD, and they're further inhibiting my ability to learn.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I definitely played tech deck with like Matt Lowe in like 7th grade science class.
You mean Blat Blow?
Sorry. Pretty sure. And we would also give each other like dead arms or whatever. Like, you know, you just like hit each other until you can't take it anymore.
Jesus Christ.
Honey.
I hated
Blat
science
Blow
You were
class.
bullied.
No, we would do it to each other. You'd hit each other as hard as you possibly could.
Who are you?
I don't know. I hated science class. I hated it. And I had to do shit to keep myself, to get that serotonin up.
You just
Baby.
became
So
a
you
middle
punched
school
Matt
boy
Lowe
in
and
before our very
played
eyes.
tech
in
decks?
one class a day. And in every other class, I was a nerd.
But so was Blat Blow.
Yeah, I don't know. I distracted him enough. I don't know. That's my memory of it.
So what is a tech deck? Luckily, Wikipedia has a breakdown of the entire structure of this mini skateboard.
It's an emery board with wheels.
And
It's
Kenyon
soft.
can follow along on her living diagram for the camera. Similar to a skateboard, a fingerboard consists of several components. The deck. Fingerboard decks are made out of plastic or wood. The shapes vary from popsicle decks, cruiser decks, and old school decks. Modern and or high quality decks have a defined nose and tail just like a real skateboard.
Correct.
Over the years, decks got wider. For example, old Berlin wood decks were 29 millimeters wide, while today, decks range from 32 to 34 millimeters.
I feel like mine is quite narrow and classic, and it definitely has both lips on either end.
Sure does. Trucks. Trucks are mostly mass-produced from metal for the toy industry. In recent years, however, there have also been manufacturers who produce special trucks specifically for the sport of fingerboarding
Not a sport.
and thereby set significantly higher standards and prices for quality in lower quantities.
I want it to be known that I at no point purchased this tech deck. I
stole it
somehow
from Blat
acquired
Blow.
it.
You
Probably
stole it.
acquired it from Blat Blow.
Oh my God.
Wheels. The wheels are made of CNC, urethane, or resin. Widely spread is polyurethane. Higher quality wheels are also equipped with bearings and made of urethane.
Definitely has bearings. Mine has great handling.
They are either cast, 3D printed, or machined on a lathe or other industrial equivalent. Bearings. The bearings used in fingerboard wheels are also the same as skateboard wheel bearings. They are made of high quality steel to make the wheels spin smoothly, the same as skateboards.
It is very
Tape.
high quality.
Tape. Tape. You're doing this wrong. You
Tape.
have to-
What are you talking about? Tape.
You don't know your tech deck?
Oh, I'm
Wow.
sorry. What is the
Wow.
tape? The top?
For better adhesion, a grip tape is glued
Yeah.
to the deck, which consists of either rubber, neoprene, fine grain, similar to sandpaper,
It's the
emery
or
board.
foam skateboard grip. So your
Fine
emery
grain
board.
sandpaper. It's so satisfying. I love it.
Screws
Yep.
are the screws that attach the trucks to the deck. Nuts. The nuts ensure that the wheels stay on the trucks. Widely spread are lock nuts that do not loosen easily.
So not lug nuts, which
Lock nuts.
can be forgotten on your tires of your car and you
tires.
almost die.
When can I leave?
You can't. If I have to be here, so do you. And finally, bushings. Fingerboard trucks have 2 bushings.
Where am I pointing?
I don't know.
You know
that
where you're
usually
pointing.
smooths out riding the board. Cheap plastic boards sometimes only have hard plastic bushings, which can break easily and make it harder to do certain tricks on the fingerboard. I don't know what that is.
I don't know. Mine's lasted a long time.
Okay.
And you use it every day.
I do.
Yep. So this thing became an outlet for kids who loved skateboarding but were either terrible at it or not allowed to participate in the actual sport or had other significant barriers to the sport, which include financial barriers like skateboarding.
Broken feet, too.
Well, broken feet. Ich habe eine Klappfuß. I don't actually have a club foot, but it's the only thing I know how to say in German. But skateboarding, the actual sport of skateboarding, if you want like decent stuff, is very expensive. And then you need protective gear. So you don't need a helmet and knee pads to put 2 fingers on a piece of plastic with wheels. But folks got really fucking
What
into
if
it,
you had
creating
little knuckle pads?
some people do that. I'm not kidding. Tiny pairs of jeans. This industry is fucking ludicrous.
I'm Googling it.
It's absurd. I have some photos on the drive of like someone in little finger skate shoes on a
Knee
skateboard.
pads for knuckle skating. Let's go.
Oh my God,
Yep.
there they are.
Get some finger jankos.
Finger jinkos.
Yup. People would create complex finger tricks and finger skate parks out of household items, releasing videos that by 90s standards like went viral before viral was a household term.
I know what my next hyper focus is. Sorry, Duolingo.
Enjoy it. From theoutline.com, quote, "It would have been fair to assume that no real deal fingerboarders actually existed back in 99. But looking back, it seems there was a genuine scene taking off right from the start. Within months of tech decks landing on store shelves, the popular skate video series 411 Video Magazine put together called Fingers of Fury, which was
I'm
a
surprised
full,
they got that name.
well, in the 90s when YouTube was like barely a thing. This was a 15-minute highlight video of clips of finger skaters from Canada and France who somehow managed to master a number of like insanely complex fingerboard tricks using their own collections of ledges, rails, duct taped quarter pipes, etc.
Someone literally like
Built a skate park
Yes.
out of
like-
household items.
Yep.
And did videos
There's like mini steps and like a mini railing and mini
It's
landscaping.
like a 200 to 1 scale.
Yup.
skate
Oh
park.
my God.
You guys, Kenyon, you thought you were a tech deck person? You have
Oh my God,
no
they're like
idea,
mini
baby.
picnic tables to do tricks
Yup.
off of.
Can we call Kenyon a
love this.
deckhead?
You're a deckhead
I'm
now.
a total
You're back.
deckhead.
Nowadays on YouTube, Instagram, and Reddit, fingerboarders from around the globe post videos of themselves performing imaginative tricks. And if Kenyon, you don't go down this path, I'm going to be deeply
I'm in.
disappointed.
I mean, I don't really have the coordination. It's going to take a lot of work.
I want your entire online presence to just be your home videos of you tech decking
Absolutely.
and getting different outfits and learning different tricks
Outfits for your fingers.
for your fingers.
I might have to
In
redo
Houston,
my board, my
Yeah.
deck.
Yeah,
Definitely.
you might
I
have,
might
to.
have to.
That's a little
get some
tired.
nail polish. Yeah.
You got to put like Dolly Parton on there or something.
Yeah. Okay, I'm in
In
it now.
Houston, one guy's rolling around in finger jeans and finger sneakers to the sound of Virginia hip hop duo Clips. In Matosinhos, Portugal, another guy pops a perfect kickflip to feeble grind on a metal rail in an outdoor finger skate park, which I guess is just a table at a park with stuff on it. I don't fucking know. She dropped her tech deck. She dropped her
it.
tech
Wow,
deck.
what an
Wow. Wow. What an am.
I,
You've been tech decking for 30
I'm not
years
even
and
a
you're still an
goof
am.
or whatever.
You're a
Okay.
goofy foot.
The best finger skaters show off their skills, but also their style, shredding to soundtracks of indie music and underground hip hop, just like in the classic skate videos from the 1990s.
You know who I bet was really into tech decks?
Who?
Kendall Roy.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah.
1000%.
Yeah.
In Dracut, Massachusetts, the influential manufacturer and distributor Flat Face Fingerboards has a public fingerboard park and hosts what it claims to be, quote, the biggest fingerboard event in the USA.
Prove it.
Yep. So despite how much I fucking hate it, fingerboarding has blossomed into its own steadfast subculture. And even fucking professional fingerboarding exists.
What would
because
you honestly do if
of
I
fucking
left
course
the
it does.
podcast to become a professional fingerboarder?
I'd let you go. Bye. It's been fun.
Okay, bye.
We'd hire Scott in your place and pray
Shit.
that you had the best time.
Shit.
Good, best of luck.
Bye.
Bye.
R.I.P.
Because if that's your course of action, so much more
That's
has
my
gone wrong
journey.
that it is not safe to keep you in the company.
You're a
Let's be honest.
liability.
You're a liability. So this gentleman, Nash Keanu Jacques, a name that could only be associated with fingerboarding,
Nash.
launched
Keanu.
his own company in 2014, appropriately named Sorry for Fingerboarding.
He made
you guys-
fingerboards.
I can't. Yes, he started a company called Sorry for Fingerboarding that was dedicated to fingerboarding.
The worst part is the name.
I love it.
Fingerboards?
Yeah.
What else are you going to call it?
I don't know. Teching?
No.
Tech decking?
No.
That's
a
proprietary.
company. That's like saying Kleenex instead of tissue.
Mhm.
That ain't it.
A lot of people say Kleenex.
A lot of people do. A lot of people do.
To be fair,
Quote.
though.
To be fair, though. Quote, since the company's inception, Jacques and his team have hosted events throughout the West Coast to bring the fingerboarding community together, regularly hosting sessions at First Fridays and Bixby Knolls. Events consist of boarding sessions with an option to compete with other fingerboarders. Aside from the Street League format, which consists of a qualifier, semifinal, quarterfinal, and a final, competitors are usually offered cash for their tricks in $5 increments.
Okay. All right. I might not
Those who
quit my day
land-
job.
Yeah. Those who land impressive tricks can go home with up to $100, according to Jacques.
Wow.
Today, he is backed by German sponsor Black River and competes in faraway places like Berlin and Portugal. Fingerboarding.
Oh my God.
For
I can't.
$100 a pop, max.
I mean, I have to imagine
Maybe
there
they
are
pay
other
for
perks.
his trip. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know what he's up to. This is just the one that he does. He hosts this specific one that's in $5 increments.
Got it.
There's more money to be made, I think, in other competitions.
Is there?
I mean, we'll get to it. Yes.
Oh, no.
In 2019, the Sorry team filmed a fingerboarding video at the Barracks, the Holy Grail private indoor skate park in LA. Can you imagine going to the Holy Grail private indoor skate park in LA to skateboard and some fucking asshole is making
Rented it out.
to make fingerboard videos?
Private event.
Can't.
Closed for private event.
Closed for a private event.
Closed for a very important film. It's just Kenyan with two fingers.
Your two fingers, your pointer and your middle finger, are just insured.
Yep. Oh, they're so
Really
valuable.
valuable.
You wear gloves. It's like George Costanza when
on
he
the
does hand
airplane.
modeling. Yeah.
It's
He
like
moisturize.
in what's that? God damn it! The fucking Ben Stiller movie,
Yeah.
Blue
Zoolander.
Steel. Zoolander, where what's his face from X Files has his hand in like the
David Duchovny.
hyperbaric chamber.
Yeah. But for tech decking, for fingerboarding.
But it's
Oh my
just
God,
your
I'm so
two
high.
fingers.
I couldn't think of Zoolander. It's just two fingers.
We're
a little
just really
seal, like,
old.
right here.
I can't think of anything
I'm
anymore.
Both.
I'm high and
Anyway.
old. It's a bad combo.
Still, one of Jacques' favorite moments as a professional fingerboarder was earning the top spot in May of 2021, so real recently,
Jesus Christ.
at the U.S. National
It's all coming
Championship
back to me.
hosted. It's like muscle memory. Hosted by USA Skateboarding, the governing body for skateboarding in the nation. The fingerboard industry is a capitalist hellscape with boards and custom sets to skate on, racking up costs in the hundreds of dollars.
How much does a regular tech deck go for these days?
I'm not sure. Again, from theoutline.com, quote, sitting at my computer, my pulse quickened at the thought of putting in an order for a proper custom fingerboard setup.
Oh, wow.
Tell me the prices.
These are impressive.
Tell me. Okay, so you're going to rag on me for my $300 clogs. Tell me how much your tech deck bullshit costs.
All right,
You
let's
tell
see.
me.
Let's see. Oh, this one's cute. All right, this skate park features.
Say it. Price. MSRP.
Literally doesn't even list a price, which means
That's
you know
how
you
expensive
can't
it is.
afford it. Oh.
It means you can't afford
The
market
fuck?
price.
I'm Googling
Okay,
this.
never
Market
mind. This is like
price.
$17, but I'll find.
Still.
It doesn't even list a price.
List a price, which means you can't afford it. Okay, he goes on to say, I shopped around and settled on some black and gold BRTs, a green Philippines-inspired tribal mask deck from Collier Decks, and chalky white oak wheels. Since I needed something to do tricks on, I also picked out a Black River pocket kicker ramp. The grand total came to $169.50.
Wow, for a custom setup.
When I finally got my packages in the mail on a blazing summer day in August, the little black box holding my BRTs made clear what I was getting myself into. This is not a toy, read a warning label on the front.
Oh, I found a custom whatever fingerboard for $138.
Oh my God.
Wow. This is bad. Why did I find this? Why did you reignite this in me?
I hate it.
Oh, no.
It's horrible.
I'm drawn to the board.
You're drawn to the boards, drawn to the hogs. So finger skateboards are not the only items like this on the market either. There's an entire line of finger snowboards, handboards, and surfboards as well if skating isn't your thing. Again, from Wikipedia, and this reads like a Mad Lib, so stay with me. Quote, similar to fingerboarding, finger snowboarding is snowboarding on a small-scale snowboard controlled with one's fingers. In December 1999, the first ever World Snowboard Finger Championships was held with a cash prize of $1,000.
Instead of X Games, it's like Y Games.
Finger games.
I am
WHY Games.
sending
games.
a picture to the chat, to the
God,
Clogs chat.
Sponsored by companies such as Gravity Fingerboards, Trans World Snowboarding, and Snowboard Life magazines, and others, the competition featured 20 competitors utilizing a custom fingerboard snowboard park.
Oh, God.
Tom Sims, a world champion of snowboarding, ended his run, of finger snowboarding, ended his run by landing his finger snowboard into a flaming shot glass of Sambuca. He was treated for minor burns and donated his winnings prize to Surfrider Foundation's Snow Rider Project and to Board Aid.
His $80 winnings.
His $1,000 winnings.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, which is probably eaten up by that ER visit.
Very expensive looking fingerboard travel case.
I like
It's
the
a
case.
$189 fingerboard travel case.
For just the case?
I think so.
Oh, God.
And it doesn't include all of those. I think that's for that whole kit.
Oh, well, still.
There's a tiny little secondary case for all of your bushings and whatever.
When you need to take your even smaller, your sleeker size carrying
The
case.
zipper is as
When
long
this one's
as
too
the
bulky.
case.
The carabiner. I can't.
Most expensive fingerboard.
Great. And like any popular trend, there is controversy. From skateboarding.com, quote, should this burgeoning market be considered part of the skateboard industry, or does it service an entirely different market? Is a toy skateboard a toy or a skateboard, or is it both? Does it matter? Well, it does matter to some. Quote, we need to embrace the possibilities of spreading the gospel of skateboarding, says Todd Swank, who had licensed many of his Tumito brand graphics for X Concepts tech decks. Swank sees the mini skateboards as a marketing tool to help excite young kids about skateboarding, not just a mere accessory. The idea is that a small kid would see this little skateboard and they are cool, like little things, and they'd see our graphics and be inspired to go get our skateboards, he says. It's the brands we're trying to get out there. But others disagree. Al Hillenbrand of Phase 2 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, doesn't believe there is a relationship between fingerboard sales and skateboard sales. Quote, I can't see a kid deciding to skateboard because of the toy. Maybe 1 out of 10, but I don't think even that many. With that age group, the World Industries and Blind Graphics have the demographic already. But for skateboards, our best-selling skateboards are Element and Black Label. Not everyone agrees.
Okay.
It's a good idea to market skateboarding to the mainstream.
It's not like the kids are unaware of skateboarding if they find a tech deck, a fingerboard.
Yeah.
They're fully unaware. They've never seen it.
I'd have to see the analytics.
Keith Cochran of Think Skateboards makes the Super Mini board, which is nearly identical in quality and design to Tech Decks, but sports a blurb in the upper corner of the packaging declaring available only through authorized skateboard dealers.
Yeah.
Cochran's idea is to market to skateboarders and not to the typical little kid that he says will never understand skateboarding. Quote, we've all built our businesses on hardcore skate shops. It's never been about the mall store or the sporting goods store.
Or
It's been
stealing
with-
it from Black Blow in 7th grade science class.
Exactly. It's been with the hardcore shops that got us here, and now we're going to turn around and stab them in the back?
People get so upset.
I cannot believe how stupid this is. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up now. I'll close out with an in-depth tutorial of some common fingerboard tricks so that you too could make $1,000 doing something dumb.
All right, Kenyon, this is your moment.
I'm gonna practice.
Your moment to shine. We're going to start with the ollie, the most basic trick in fingerboarding.
Which I've
and it
almost
can be
mastered.
done. To do an ollie, place your front finger on the center of the board and your back finger just behind the trucks. Bend your knuckles, your knuckle knees, and pull straight up, like with some oomph, using your back finger to push the board off the ground. As you jump, snap your wrist to make the deck pop in the air. When
Oh,
it
I
reaches
did
its
it.
peak, I bet you did, level out your fingers and land.
Here, I'm using this matchbook.
I did
Next
it.
up,
I did it too.
Nailed next up is the pop shove it. This trick is similar to an ollie, but instead of snapping your wrists when you jump, you will use them to flick the deck sideways as it leaves the ground. This will cause the deck to spin in midair before you land back
Oh yeah,
on
that's
it.
the only one that I ever knew how to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Got it. The kick flip. To do a kick flick, start in the same stance you would for an ollie. When you jump, use your back finger to kick the front of the deck, flipping it up and over as it comes around, level out your fingers and land. I don't even fucking know. And then there's the 540 shove it and the 900 shove it.
Those sound like lots of spins.
Exactly. So the 540, it's the same. You start in an ollie. When you jump, you use your wrist to flick the deck 540 degrees around.
That's hard.
And in the 900, you do 900 degrees. And that's it for me. I'm going to go drink bleach.
That's it for all of us.
I'm going to go buy this Santa Cruz Skateboard Winkowski Dope Planet VX Independent Trucks Slime Balls Wheels for $154.95 on sale from
Plugs might be a
$169.95.
better investment. Thank you to Kayla and Andy. I think we'll see you next week.
All right.
baby.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Wine and Crime. Our cover art is by Kala Yip, music by Phil Young and Corey Wendell, editing by Jonathan Camp. Check out our website and blog at wineandcrimepodcast.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Wine and Crime Pod. If you have questions, answers, or recommendations to share, email us at wineandcrimepodcast@gmail.com. Episodes are available on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, basically wherever you get your favorite podcasts. And if you like the show, please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts. It is the best way to spread the word. If you'd like to show your support, visit our Patreon page to keep this podcast and the wine flowing. Cheers.